Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Stihl MS250 chainsaw. Customer complaint is that it wouldn't start. He didn't complain about any of this fuel leaking out of it. Well, we'll take advantage of it spilling all over the bench and use it to clean up some of our old messes here. So I'm obviously aware that there's a fuel leak. Whatever's left in a tank, let's get it out of here. Investigate a little bit further. As long as we got fuel on our hands, we might as well get some of the grease off our hands, right? Air filter cover removed. A couple of tabs on the air filter. Now we're going to take a minute to look at the top of that fuel line. Where it comes out of the tank, it must not be seated correctly, because that was a lot of fuel to be running out of there. So I'm aware of the leak, and I know where the leak is. So back to the air filter. A couple of tabs. Just got to flex some tabs a little bit, and that thing will pop out of the way. That black plastic piece is kind of a wall that goes between the cylinder and the carburetor area. And you can flip it one way or the other depending on if it's summer or winter to let warm air in to the carburetor area for winter operation. Well, we see that there's a brand new spark plug in here, which means the customer tried to fix his starting problem already, and he was unsuccessful. So I should just assume that there's spark, but I'm going to test it anyway. And when I say test, this is about as crude a method of testing for spark as there is. But there you go, we've got spark. We'll get that spark plug back in here. Now this video should be more a lesson of how to stay on track in a shop environment than an actual repair. So I've already got a bunch of things going on, and now I'm going to get interrupted by the front office. Yeah. Where the hell were we here? Okay, where were we? You know, you got to stop what you're doing here and totally switch gears and deal with something else. And then when you get back to it, in this case, I'm just grinding gears. I don't remember where I was. But I see the fuel filter hanging out of there, so let's pressure test it and pick up from there. And if we pressure test that line, it looks like the needle on the gauge is holding, so we're going to assume the line is good. But we forgot that the line was leaking coming out of the tank. Meaning the seal between the line and the tank, not the integrity of the line itself. You just want to get that filter to hang in the tank the right way. Now we're going to go ahead and pull that carburetor off and open it up and see what's going on. So these older Stihl chainsaws, for the most part, they're really simple to work on. You take these two nuts off of here, and this air box will come off. You got throttle linkage, choke linkage, a fuel line, and then that weird cross shaft that operates the choke. But it's all pretty simple. First, this lever right here. This operates the choke. And if you get things lined up just right, that lever will pop out of there. There's an elongated groove in the choke lever on the carburetor that linkage has to pass through. And then if you pop the throttle linkage up out of the handle, it just rolls out of the linkage on the carburetor. This piece here is the tank vent and the boot that seals off the adjustment screws. And it had a big kink in it. I didn't like that kink, but it was pinched off hard. This thing could have had a lean running condition as the vacuum was building in the tank. Now what are we fumbling with? The cross shaft, stop switch choke lever cross shaft. I don't know what Stihl calls it, but there it is. And then off comes the carburetor. Now one thing I like to do when I get to this point is just put an eyeball on the intake side of the piston skirt. The condition of it, the wear on it, that will tell me how much dirt went through this thing. And if it's nice and clean and pretty, then I know that the customer's been keeping up on his maintenance. Now I can see a bag there from a Zama carb kit. And I'm putting the carburetor back on. That means at some point I got sidetracked, called away, and forgot to turn the camera back on while I was doing the carb rebuild. But if you watch any of my videos, you'll know that, or you've seen 100 carb rebuilds already, right? So we put a kit in this one. Looking at the parts laying on a bench, I would say it was just a gasket and diaphragm kit. I don't see a needle laying there or any extra internal parts, Welch plugs or anything like that. So the boot goes back on where the adjustment screws are. The fuel line goes back on the front of the carburetor. Our cross shaft, choke lever cross shaft, that can go back on. And then there's a kill wire that has to get pushed into the end of that cross shaft. So what I was doing there was I was lifting the spring plate for the kill switch and getting it on top of that cross shaft. It naturally wants to end up underneath it, but you need to lift it up and put it on top of it, on top of a cam on that shaft there. This wire, it doesn't really want to stay in the end of that cross shaft, so we're kind of just spreading it open a little bit, make a better friction fit. There must be something more comfortable with there. So when you rock this shaft up, the wire I just put in there touches that spring and kills the engine. So when someone brings in their Stihl chainsaw and says the kill switch doesn't work, a lot of times it's because they had it apart and they got that spring on the wrong side of the cross shaft. I didn't really like the way that wire was routed. I must have got it tangled around the vent line, so we're just going to change that up a little bit. You done? How's it work? Probably doesn't work that great without that throttle lever on there. Where is that rod? There it is. Just hooks into the linkage on the carburetor and then snaps down into the throttle lever. Now we can put the air filter holder back on. 2 nuts, 8mm socket. Alright, we'll get our air filter back on. We'll put some fuel in this thing and see if it runs. So you'll notice here, after I put the fuel in, that quite a bit of that fuel is going to hit the bench. And that's because I got distracted and I forgot about the fuel leak, and I moved forward with the carb refresh without addressing the fuel line issue. Now I'm going to have to go back and pull that fuel line out, replace it, or reseal it in the tank. But I might as well just see if this thing runs and make sure our carb refresh has got us where we want to be. Yeah, right now I'm kind of PO'd. My own fault, forgetting, but the point is, don't get distracted. So really, that's all I got for you on the Stihl MS250 non-fuel line fix and carb rebuild that I didn't show you. Thanks for watching. Later.
Huh?